Grand Rising YouTube, it's your boy Jynesis back on another video on astrology. Before we get into it, just want to open up with some good energy by saying peace to all the gods and goddesses of Planet Kai, peace to all the ancestors and elders of Planet Kai, peace to all the peers, peace to all my peers, peace to all the youth, the animals, the plant life, and all the high vibrational beings. So yeah, yesterday we had Jupiter. I had talked about Jupiter and basically its traits and attributes and whatnot, and what it does in your chart and how you can use it in your life as a benefit. And today we're gonna be talking about Venus, which is ruled by Taurus and Libra. I did that video last Friday, so if you missed that, go ahead and go check that out. And yeah, we're finna jump right into this shit, you feel me? So Venus is a planet of beauty. Venus represents your value system. It rules the 2nd and the 7th house. It rules your values, it rules partnerships, it rules relationships, it rules creativity, beauty, vanity, I guess you could say your desires as well, materialistic things, you know, things that you value to yourself, you know, and just, you know, love itself, you know, it's the planet of love. And it's one of those planets where it attracts things. Like I said in the Mars video, you can use Mars to attract, but Venus is the actual planet that attracts. It shows your attraction, what you're attracted to, what basically comes your way, depending on if you're a male or female. For females, it's how you go out and get what you want. It's what you like, what you want. For a male, it's kind of in a sense what likes you, what wants you, what gravitate towards you, what you manifest as far as love. Even just the type of things that you involve yourself with as far as values and what you like to do, what you like to have around you, just what you like in general. It's like it's that part of you that's, you know, oh, I like, okay, I'm a Venus in Pisces, which is exalted, and basically that energy is all about, you know, for the most part, the whole, the collective. When it comes to Pisces in general, that signs, like I said in the Pisces video, is one of the lover signs. So Venus being in Pisces, you know, it's kind of exalted in the sense of, you know, Pisces love to love. They love to care for people. They love to have strong compassion for people. So when Venus is in Pisces, the love and compassion that, you know, Venus, you know, represents is amplified because Pisces loves that energy. You know what I'm saying? So when it's in that sign, Pisces also is the most spiritual sign. So it goes back to what I was saying about, you know, things that you like and whatnot. You might gravitate towards, and this is if you're Venus and Pisces, you might gravitate towards, you know, more spiritual things, less third dimensional things. You know, you might like to meditate a lot. You know, in your relationship, you probably want to go out on spiritual hodges. You probably want to go learn about different philosophies, or you might want to indulge, you know, spiritual, I forgot what they're called, but basically when like you go on trip or you go through some healing, you know, that's Pisces energy, and you might have a vigoration for that. Also, like crystals and whatnot, you know, I can be attest to that. I love crystals. Like, if anybody wants to give me a present, you feel me, crystal is probably the #1 thing I would appreciate. I appreciate any present given to me because that's also Pisces. They're very appreciative of everything and everyone around them. But for me personally, because I'm aware of the things I actually do like, because Pisces do have to learn boundaries and shit, you know, it's spiritual related things. You know, you can give me a book on chakras, you can get me fucking a book on anything spiritual. You can fuck around and get tickets to a fucking a seminar for spirituality, all type of shit. That's what the values that Pisces come with when Venus is placed in it. So that's just an understanding of how Venus operates with a sign as an example. Other signs, you know, they dictate that, and we'll get into that, you know, very shortly after I do the houses next week. I still have a couple of planets that have to kind of overlap because certain planets don't really have their own days, so I have to kind of overlap the video. So I might not get to the houses too soon, but once I get through the houses, I'll start doing like the signs or the planets in certain signs, planets in certain houses, you know, relationships between signs and planets and whatnot, aspects. I'll get deeper into this, but right now we're just going through the basics. Like I said in the very first few videos, I want to make sure this information is easy to digest and ingest at the same time, so that you won't be fucking lost about who you are, you know, as a being on this planet and walking this journey, because astrology is a way to learn yourself. So Venus also is about self-worth, self-love, value of self, how you, not like how I say with Aries, self, but it's more so like the love aspect. Venus will show you what type of energy. It'll show you a love language. What type of energy you like in a relationship. That's Venus. Like I said in the Mars video, Mars is more so how you interact sexually in the relationship, what you do in the relationship as far as, take action. How do you take action in a relationship? How you take action towards a relationship or towards the person that you like. It changes between genders, but that's generally the Mars energy. Venus is what you attract. So if you have a debilitated Venus, you're not going to not attract people. That doesn't mean you're not going to attract people. You'll just have a hard time attracting with exactly what you want in mind because of that energy. For me, I can easily attract the type of person I want, the type of energy, the type of relationship, easily, no problem. A debilitated is like they'll go through trials and tribulations over and over and over and over and over. Hey, don't you even do it. Over and over because they're not used to that energy of Venus versus like a Libra, a Taurus, Venus and Taurus, or Venus Libra. They have their home placements of Venus, so it's like, boom. They'll value love in a different way than these other signs, and they'll find relationships better. They'll be able to actually express their love differently than the debilitated or the falls. They'll be able to actually indulge in that energy versus the debilitated and the fall. They don't really like that energy because if it's not the way they desire it, it's not gonna go. Like for an example, Venus and Virgo, which is the opposite of Pisces. It's in its detriment or it's in its fall because Pisces being exalted, which is at its highest peak of energy. It's at its most abundance, as you can say. That's what that means. Virgo does not really know how to express that love without having those boundaries, those requirements of what they need from you. You know what I'm saying? A Pisces will be like, as long as you can share that energy, because that's what Pisces is about, is exchanging energy. For the most part, they not gonna care. Now, once they kind of learn themselves and how to love properly, because they can't just love just to love. They need to learn how to love with, boundaries. They need to learn how to love with value systems that cater towards that unconditional love, because that unconditional love will go unappreciated. And that can go for any sign, honestly. Especially if that sign if that energy, that sign is prevalent in the chart, definitely. Venus definitely gonna go crazy, because if you have if you're a Taurus sun, rising or moon, you look towards the Venus sign because that's where most of your energy is gonna come from. Versus if you have a Taurus major chart, what I mean by major is majority of your chart is Taurus. That's what I'm saying. And a lot of that energy comes from Venus, so it's best to look at your Venus houses, which is 2nd and 7th, and Venus itself, and see where it's placed at if it's not in Taurus or Libra. But for the most part, Venus is one of the beneficial planets, the beneficent planets. Beneficent means it benefits you, you benefit off of it. It gives you blessings or whatnot. Not like how I say with Jupiter, not like actual blessings. Jupiter actually gives you blessings. They bless you. Hey, move. They actually give you blessings. Like Jupiter gives you blessings. But what I mean by beneficent is just it's a positive planet. It's seen in a better light than Saturn or Mars, because Mars is, Mars. Saturn's the planet that a lot of people just don't like. Me personally, I have the ups and downs of, because I do have a Saturn sign, which is Capricorn, and I have Aquarius energy as well. So those are two Saturn signs, which they play off each other. So I have a benefit off that, but at the same time, it's like the Saturn energy really does hold you back when you really want something the most. Only because you have to learn why you want it, why you need it, learn to appreciate it, learn why you're working so hard for this shit. Otherwise, you're just gonna do shit, get it, and throw it away like a fucking kid with toys on Christmas. You feel me? So, yeah. Venus also, let's see, Venus tells what type of partners you attract. Like I said, I'm gonna go more in depth. What I mean by your partner, so for an example, if you have a fire sign Venus, you're gonna attract a partner that's more spontaneous. You're gonna attract a partner that takes action, that likes attention, that's more action based as far as activities. They like to do things with you. They like to be acknowledged, noticed. They like to spread that light, in a relationship and amongst others. And basically, it's best to go either for that particular element, sign, or the opposing element or the opposing sign. because it's all about axis. It's all about understanding the spectrums, and you know, certain actual signs don't really clash well because of the element reasons, or because of just sextile squares and trines, and those are aspects that I'll get into. But for the most part, not all signs get along, but some signs can get along with each other if other planets are placed correctly, you know, and those are synastries, and we'll get into synastries later on as well. And basically, Venus will show you what type of partner you know are compatible with. For the most part, it also shows you the type of partners you deal with. So you can look, if you want to figure out, like, you know, the past type of shit, like you look back on the past, why I date this type of people, look at your Venus, you know, it'll tell you everything you need to know about your love life. Everything. Look at your second and seventh house. Mostly your seventh house, because second house kind of deals with the value aspect of Venus, your values, your morals, how you structure yourself, you know, your resources, you know, the materialistic side of things, versus seventh house is about the values within the relationship. It's about how you kind of carry yourself with other people, whether it's a business, whether it's a romance, friendship, it doesn't matter. It's just, like I said in the Libra video, it's all about that other companion, whether it's a brother, whether it's a cousin, whether it's a friend, whether it's a fucking girlfriend, mom, doesn't matter. Venus is all about that other half, a business partner. You're going to need someone else to help who has these special skills and capabilities to help you, because Libras do have a tendency to kind of not know what they want if they don't have someone else to help them kind of steer them in the right direction, for the most part. They can do on their own if they have good placements, but they become indecisive, and then that indecisiveness kind of gets scattered, and that's when they become scattered. Hey, no, sit. No, don't jump on me. But yeah, Venus, I was about to say something else. This man just barked. Venus, oh man. Oh, Venus also deals with, like I said, creativity and art as well. So it also tells what type of, like, what do you like? It tells what you like to do as far as creative wise, you know, what type of ways you get creative. You know, a lot of people are creative. Certain signs don't really hone creativity as much as they hone other attributes. Like, for an example, Capricorns, they can be creative, but they're more creative in the sense of building things. You know, they can build things out of creativity, versus a Pisces can create things as far as, you know, just frequencies, imagery, colors. You know, they kind of certain things, because that deals with the subconscious mind, and with the subconscious mind, that's where all their creativity comes from. So that's why, like, it's exalted in Pisces, because when it comes to creativity, and I can once again be an example because I have an exalted placement. The Venus, whoever planet sign is placed in, influences your creativity, the type of creative process you might have doing things, whether it's drawing, painting, music, dancing, anything art in the art form, you know, even fucking martial arts, you know, that's an art form as well. So yeah, Venus deals with how, you know, what type of ways you create. It also can what the fuck? It also can tell you what type of music you probably like, or how much you might like music, or how much you might like this thing that you're into. Because, like I said, with Sagittarius, is that energy, they can go forever because it expands. It's Jupiter energy, you know, they can expand, they can keep going. And it's just like what they love doing is expanding, gaining knowledge, and kind of, you know, having that adventure. Versus the earth sign, because I don't want to specify any signs too much, but in the earth sign, it's more so predicated on structure, stability. So they might have a strict way of doing things, but they'll still love doing it. It's just the Sagittarius is going to be more free with the shit. Earth sign, they're going to be like, all right, hold on, before we do that, we got to do this and that and the third before I get to that point. And that's kind of like the downfall, you know, when it comes to earth, or except for Taurus, earth signs dealing with Venus, because Venus does have that freedom aspect to it as far as creativity. It can't stand when the creative process gets hindered. For example, Tauruses, they love when they're able to actually focus on their creative process. If you fuck their creative process up, they will get pissed off, because it's like, damn, bro, you see me focusing on this shit. Like, I'm literally showing you, because it's earth, so they're going to show you through physicality that I'm focused on this shit. If you're going to interrupt me, at least don't take my focus off too hard. At least, you know, make sure I'm focused on what the fuck I'm doing. But, you know, basically come at the right time. Don't just really vanilla shit, because if they're in the middle coordinating, painting, drawing, whatever the fuck they fucking doing, it's gonna throw them off. And earth signs like structure. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said they're more like stiff with their shit versus a fire sign and a water sign and an air sign. They're more fluid with their shit. Water signs for the most part, because Venus does operate well in water signs. It doesn't, except for Scorpio. Scorpio is where it's debilitated because it's the opposite of Taurus. That does not mean Scorpio, Venus and Scorpios cannot find love. It's just they go through a lot of scorpionic shit. You know what I'm saying? Life and death with that shit. Not literally, but maybe, depending on the aspects. But the relationships they go through, they come and go a lot. And that's what kind of makes them shut off. And they really picky about who the fuck they love. Same thing with any other water sign, except for Pisces, because like I said, they just love to love. But Cancers, they'll do the same exact thing. It's just they care a lot, so they're not going to shut themselves off. They're going to let you in, but they're going to show you that you hurt them if you did, in ways where it's like, damn, why the fuck is you acting like this type of shit? But for the most part, the water signs, every sign but earth signs, it flows. Earth signs has to learn to flow, but it is consistent, it is structured, it is going to get it done no matter what. So whatever creative process they go through for earth signs, they're going to get it done. It's just, nigga, why is you so strict on how you do it? You feel me? But yeah, that's just a note I want to throw it in for the creativity. I noticed, I don't know if any other YouTubers have ever said that, but I noticed that for the most part, like certain signs will show the same traits, but it's like how they go about that shit. You know, that's Venus, because it's the value systems, how they value what the fuck they're doing. You know, you might value it different from me because of your Venus. You know what I'm saying? You might value the whole relationship aspect because of the Venus. You feel me? You might value how this artist does shit versus that artist because of your values. You know what I'm saying? That also can dictate what type of artist you like for the most part. So if you have a fiery placement, you're probably gonna like the intense artists, versus like a water sign, you like a more of emotional connectivity to it. Earth, it's like, let's be real, if you talk about cars, clothes, monies, and hoes, yeah. Air, it has to be one of those wordplay ass Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole type of songs, you feel me? But for the most part, they all love this. They act out the same energy, just in their own unique way. And yeah, it's how to use Venus. Like I said, you just got to pay attention to what you love doing in life, the type of energy you love attracting, you know, the type of energy you attract, period, without even trying to attract it, because that also is your Venus. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand that Venus is going to give you what you want, but you got to go get that shit. Jupiter is going to give you what you want. You ain't even got to go get the shit. So that's the difference between Jupiter and Venus as far as the beneficent planets. But with Venus, you know, it's really easy to manipulate or use to your advantage, because you can use all the planets. All the planets operate on their own because they're fucking celestial bodies. But when I say use, focus your awareness on it so that you can aspire in whatever you're trying to do. I'm gonna say with Jupiter, if you focus on whatever you're trying to do, it's going to expand and make it easier and bigger for you to hit your target. You feel me? That's all it is. But that's all I got for Venus. Hope I dropped, you know, some good gems on you. And if I did miss anything, or if you feel like you know it's certain aspects that I probably should know or whatever, go ahead and drop that in the comments. I'm not afraid to. I'm very open-minded when it comes to this, because I like learning about this shit. You know, it's really hard for me to learn when I've already learned so much on YouTube that I gotta go to the books, and I can't stand books because it's just stagnant. You know, I like reading, but if it's not a good read, it's gonna be hard for me. And a lot of books in astrology, they're really tough reads for me, because it's like you're not really presenting it. You're presenting it too strictly. It's not like, okay, some of them do, some of them don't. It's just I haven't really bought too many books on astrology because I just do the research and I just go within. But for the most part, you know, I go outside of myself and learn shit. So if you want to, you know, give me some gems, show me a different side of planet signs or whatever, you know, go ahead and feel free to comment. You know, I will reply. I will acknowledge it depending on where I'm at and what I'm doing. But for the most part, I do come across notifications about my channel. So that being said, I'm gonna leave as I can by saying grand rising. Peace to all the gods and goddesses upon the top. Peace to all the ancestors. Peace to all elderly, the youth, peers, crystal baby star seeds, the plant life, the botanicals, the animals, and all the high vibrational beings that reside here on Kai. It's been your boy Jynesis. Love.